Ambassador Morax the Malformed adjusted his tie for the third time, staring at his reflection in the polished surface of a mirror made from condensed moonlight. It was nauseatingly bright. He much preferred Hell's aesthetic: obsidian, magma, and the ever-present scent of slightly burnt sulfur. But no. Here he was, deep in the heart of the Gilded Bough, the grand seat of the Fairy Queen's court, where everything shimmered unnaturally, and everyone spoke in tones so saccharine Morax feared he might get a cavity just from listening. This trade agreement was important. Hell was running low on resources. Yes, Hell, the land of eternal torment, supposedly infinite suffering, and a treasury of damned souls. But even a realm fueled by misery had its limits. The influx of sinners was inconsistent, demon labor laws had, somewhat unexpectedly, been updated, and there was a catastrophic shortage of brimstone, without which they could neither fuel their infernal furnaces nor keep the lakes of fire properly aflame. Meanwhile, the fairy realm wasn't doing much better. Despite the illusion of perfection, their economy was crumbling under the weight of outdated magical traditions. They had entire vaults of gold, yet not a single working supply chain. Enchanted forests grew too wild, making it impossible to cultivate food efficiently. They had magic, yes, but not much in the way of logistical infrastructure. And so, the first ever Inferno-Fae trade accord was being negotiated. Which was a problem, because the Fairy Queen, radiant and luminous in her gown of woven stardust, was as stubborn as a particularly vindictive mule. Morax cleared his throat. Your Majesty, let's be pragmatic. Hell is prepared to offer you brimstone, heat-resistant imp labor, and controlled access to some of our finest cursed artifacts. He gestured with a clawed hand to the document hovering in front of them, written in elegant infernal script that occasionally wept blood. The Queen smiled. And in exchange? We require sustainable access to your ever-growing enchanted forests. Our fire pits run low. Demons are getting cold. Do you know how ridiculous a shivering demon looks? We've lost so much dignity. The Queen tapped her elegant, razor-sharp nails on the armrest of her throne. You propose a trade, but do you even understand what we truly lack? Morax hesitated. Moonlight? Unicorn tears? Your people love those. No, Morax. We lack organization. We lack efficiency. She leaned forward, eyes gleaming with something more than magic, something calculating. Morax's infernal instincts tingled. He had a very bad feeling about this. 3 days into negotiations, Morax had developed a twitch. It wasn't the diplomacy that bothered him. He could handle that. He had once negotiated with a particularly argumentative kraken for territorial rights over the abyssal pits, and that deal had included tentacle-related collateral. No, what really got to him was the fairies' complete lack of structure. Hell ran on a bureaucratic nightmare so complex that even demons got lost in it sometimes. But it worked. The fairy realm, by contrast, was all whims and wishes. Decisions made on the fly by creatures who thought schedules were things that happened to other people. Morax massaged his temples. Across from him, the Fairy Queen was sipping ambrosia from a cup woven from hummingbird wings. You're saying, he said slowly, that your people don't even have a ledger tracking your magical surplus? Oh, we don't do numbers, dear, the Queen said dismissively. That's so terribly mortal. Morax's eye twitched again. This was worse than he thought. But then he realized something rather insidious. Queen Titania, he said carefully, if you're so opposed to mortal methodologies, why do you keep bringing up human innovations? The Queen's eyes twinkled. Oh, Morax, you're quicker than you look. Morax didn't like that. He also didn't like how the Queen's attendants had been whispering words like supply chain logistics and data management. And then it hit him. The fairy realm didn't want Hell's brimstone. They wanted Hell's bureaucratic efficiency. And Hell's bureaucratic efficiency was based on human technology. I knew it. Morax slammed his clawed hand on the table, making an enchanted quill hop in surprise. You don't want magic. You don't even want brimstone. You want... He took a deep breath. You want spreadsheet software, don't you? The Fairy Queen beamed. And internet access, if you can swing it. Morax hated that she was right. Hell had been using human bureaucracy, filing systems, and later, computers for centuries. They had entire subsections of the underworld dedicated to tech support. Meanwhile, the fairy realm was running on verbal agreements ambiguous magical contracts, and the occasional prophetic vision. It was a mess. And worse, Hell wanted human tech too. Demon engineers had been trying for centuries to make their own Wi-Fi, but Hell's infernal geography kept interfering. Signals got corrupted, firewalls were literal, and don't even get Morax started on what happened when you tried to run AI in a realm full of malicious spirits. And so, after much grumbling, infernal posturing, and one dramatic shouting match with an overenthusiastic pixie, the first ever demon-fairy-human trade agreement was signed. Final terms. 1. Hell provides bureaucratic organization and internet infrastructure to the fairy realm. 2. The fairy realm grants Hell controlled access to enchanted forests for energy needs. 3. Both factions get steady human technological imports in secret via morally flexible human intermediaries. The real winner? Humanity. Because no one, not even demons or fairies, could function without Wi-Fi and Excel spreadsheets.